So Cuba's next, and the Russians propagating this and keeping them up along with the Chinese and even the Iranians. You're done. You guys are history. Iran is even falling. These third world militaries that really don't exist, they're paper tigers. And we're completely aware of this. And we're starting to use our assets to actually change the calculus. Seizing the Russian oil tankers that are propagating this crap, you're done. You're bitches. And we're going to show you how to take over for real. You know, we're making you our bitches. That's right, Russia. Get used to it. 500% tariffs on anybody who's buying Russian oil sounds great. The Russians have karma coming for them. Them using, Africans to go over and fight, and North Koreans to fight in Ukraine. Yeah, you're going to pay a price for that. Karma is coming for you. Your country is going to just collapse, like all these third world communist countries. You're disgusting. And the evil you have done is going to come back to you. Mark my words. That's what you're seeing right now. Good overcoming evil. And it's easy to see. You know, when you have fat guys on bikes going over trying to attack in Ukraine with horses and shit like that, and Africans and North Koreans, well, who can say anything?
О, глянь, сколько одноразочек. Еще и поют. Радостные. Ничего, сейчас на залив пойдут. По-другому запоют.
These communists are losers, and one country after another as they fall, Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just going to be one after another. And yeah, they're going to get upset, but who cares? They're weak. And we'll just seize one tanker and one ship here and there. These disgusting people, it's got to end. Stuff like this, it shows the communists are just using their people to go over and get rich off of while they live high on the hog and high-end lifestyles. Well, everybody else in their country suffers. They absolutely suffer. And you know what? Besides Venezuela, Mexico is next. Because no more. I'm 100% for Trump destroying the cartels when you have 400 bags of human remains found near a stadium for the 2026 World Cup. That's disgusting. You got to end these cartels, and he's going to do it. And with or without permission from Mexico, who cares? Sheinbaum is just a narco cartel lapdog. And even her own people know this. And that's fine. You know what happens when you get real democracy and opportunity? Freedom? You get this. The Venezuelan stock market spiked and just went so much higher because you have the opportunity. And that's why people are investing there. And that shows what's going to happen. And you know what? The Iranians, you're next. It's been over 50 years, and the Persians are coming for you. The real Iranians. Your history. And here's the simple thing. People want freedom and a better life. And that's what those dictators and communists aren't giving them. And that's what America represents. So that's why you're seeing everything that's happening. And we're making it happen. That's the great thing. Anyway, on to the video. Enjoy. Good morning. Here we are with Zcash. And I'm going to show you this chart because this had a big pullback. And I was looking to actually start shorting it again. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity. It kind of truncated, and that's mainly because news came out that early that their developers were resigning and starting a new coin, and it's caused a bunch of chaos. But that's the charts for you. Nothing I can do about that. But for those who are still holding the shorts, your numbers are looking better. It's hit the minimum target right down here at 368, but it's likely going to go back under here where it originally was a buy point from right down there, if you remember. I bought it from here, exited up here. That was a great trade. And yeah, I would be looking forward to get all the way back down here to target. It's got the weakness and the story in it now about the developers, um, you know, taking off from Zcash. All I can do is laugh. This was the next big thing. It ran all the way up to the 700 range and all the way up to here. And yeah, so much for that, huh? Anyway, let's go on to Metaplanet. Metaplanet is showing strength, and it's back above the 88.6. This is one I've been going on for months and months now, since September. I've been saying that it's entered its buy zone, and it really went all the way down to the two. My last buy place was under 220 in the 218 area. It went all the way down here. So yes, I did buy more and more, and I loaded up larger amounts as the lower we went, especially when we went to this 271 and all the way down to under 220. That was the majority of what I bought, and now we've spiked all the way up to 333, and we're looking kind of strong. The minimum I would look for it to go to is right off of the little M that you see there, the butterfly like pattern, all the way up to the 440s. That's just what's in the chart, undoubtable. And beyond that, you know what numbers I want. I want to see these gaps filled and us to get, it to really do fantastic in the future. Anyway, GME is just holding firm. One day TikTok, one day after another, closer it's going to come into convergence with that trend line. But it has plenty of time, so I guess it's like whatever. What are you going to say? It has plenty of time, but at some point it's going to base and break out. Hopefully it will get down to lower numbers and break under here, so I can buy more, because I am only buying at these levels. I'm not going to go over and do anything until they get down to those levels. So my position size right now is not very large, but we are under the 2140 area, which is the original buy point, and the low $21 range, let's say. So that's good. Other than that, let's see, what else do we have out there? It's kind of been lackluster, I guess you can say, but Bitcoin has been very strong, and I will tell you again and again and again, why that is. It's because it has to go back up. It doesn't really have a choice. It cannot find weakness until it tests the trend line break. It can't. And that's just the way it is. That's the chart. So until it gets back up to these levels up here, this is the best one to show what I'm talking about. Until it gets up to here, it really can't break down. That's what you're seeing. That's just what happens the vast majority of the time. So you can see right here, and I've had a few small trades on it, but nothing of interest or of size. I'm just playing the resistance here and the buy zone down here. And ultimately, I'm looking for us to go all the way back up here. These are small trades, but I do that just because statistically they do often play out. Like sell here, buy there, then sell here. You'll see this repeat itself over and over. You probably have seen me point levels like this out through many charts over many years, just repeating over and over. And that's how you grow your balances, little bits at a time, a little bit here, a little bit there, and it adds up. And it does add up. But anyway, I'm still looking for us to get back up to this area up here, anywhere from the 98, the mid 98K, all the way up to around that 104, 105 area. That is just what's in the chart. It has to test this trend line break. That's what charts do. That's why you're not getting any real push down, and then from there it will decide whether it wants to freak everybody out and break out higher to the upside and keep going, or if it wishes to continue its downside and get all the way back down to the 61.8 and off of the 5-wave pattern that you have from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good structure. Volume kind of iffy, but it does have a close to 50%. I would say like it's a 49, 48% probability of getting down to here before making new highs. But on the flip side, you have a 51, 52% likelihood of breaking out to the upside. So the upside is slightly higher statistically. But the statistics on this are so close that it doesn't warrant to go over and to go gung-ho one way or the other. This becomes more like a coin flip. I hate to say, even if the odds are more to the upside, it's still slightly a coin flip. So that's what we have with Bitcoin. And yeah, so just wait and see what we do from here. That's you're the biggest chart of interest. I don't really see anything really interesting outside of that. Let's go to maybe silver. Silver, kind of boring. My thoughts on this. This is a great short. I would like to see it get up to the 88. It's had such a big move, but short term it's off of this structure here, the 4.23. So that's kind of a strong resistance point. It breaking back down to the 63, the upper 63, 64, that number in there is very likely. And the main reason why, even with the strength, is because it's losing momentum, and the ticks, the strength is not really there. And this is just statistically what's likely to happen. This pink zone that you see right here from top to bottom, this usually will cycle through a very high percentage of the time when structure is fully, how would you say, extinguished, or imagine kinetic energy explodes. You get an explosion, right? And it's dispersed everywhere. Well, that's kind of like what's happened from this level here to here. And then you'll have to retrace all the way back down to here to go over and pick up energy to go back up and continue higher, or to break down and continue lower. That's what charts do. Usually it will cycle within this range, spike back up like we saw in Zcash, which is a perfect example of this. And I've seen this through many charts. It did exactly that. It even went beyond its 4.23. A lot of strength and, the hype and all that. But didn't matter because it came all the way right back down to it. And that's what happens the majority of the time. So even though it had its short hedge there, it still pulls all the way back in that 413 area, I guess, all the way, even though it spiked all the way up to here, and did it with some, strong conviction. Now, this buy down here was mainly because I could see the prints. And I can see that they were covering, and the buyers, they made it very obvious for me. So that was a great place to exit and get long. And it was a quick 30-something% move. It even went higher, created a zigzag, 1, 2, 3, went all the way up to the $500 range. And then, of course, the news came out that the developers are doing some bullshit. Who cares? It's Zcash. I don't know why people would get so involved in this with the storyline and all this, but whatever. They're not proven, and sure enough, it collapses back down. So now it's at an inflection point where it's just meandering, and more than likely, since the structure's in place, it will drop back down to these numbers down here and down to here. So that's what we're looking for. But that's a good example of what's going on with silver. Its last pullback from here to here was just like, not interesting enough, not strong enough. It needs to get back down to where its breakout point was, and the 200% level. So you can see the boundaries that we're looking at there for silver. And the market itself on the Dow Jones, like I stated, I put the big chart in there and I pointed this out several times. 64K. I think we're going into a major bull market. We passed the 200%, and this chart is just rock steady. And if liquidity, the ISM and the liquidity, I guess what's his name? That Paul guy likes to call it the business index, for what's coming in the future. Well, he's not wrong. The liquidity hits and expands, you're going to have a rush to putting money into assets. And geopolitically, with the collapse of China and Russia getting smoked from what Trump is doing in the Caribbean or Venezuela, and what's going on with Iran, our world is looking to be a much safer place from the commies. The commie dictators are going down the drain. Even though you can't really consider the Iranians to be communists, they're still dictators, and they're part of the axis of evil. China loses Iran and Venezuela, and it's going to be very painful. And I understand the calculus of how the war in Russia's war in Ukraine is going to basically, it's already an attrition-based war that it's just it's turned into a meat grinder for both sides, unfortunately. Mainly the Russian side, which I think they have a 3 to 5 to 1 casualty loss, and sometimes even higher. And if they're using African troops and trying to trick people into fighting for them, it's disgusting people. It's going to come back to hurt them. Their economy is already cratering, and Trump's move in Venezuela with the oil prices, and probably Cuba is next. Our hemisphere is going to become a lot better, is all I can say, a lot brighter, and we'll have a much better world. And I think the stock market flying all the way up to these levels, that's on the table. I could see it happening. It's going to be, I think it's going to be friggin' fantastic, is what I would look forward to. And I would look for Bitcoin to break out to the upside soon. Hit up to these levels from here to there. We'll see. But there's real strength in the chart. And I like what I'm seeing across the board. And the geopolitics are just converging together to bring this story into fruition, I guess you can say. So stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. The last thing I'll look at, I guess, is oil. Oil's holding steady. This is where they want to keep it. This whole area around the low 60 to the upper 50 area. This is the point of where oil companies want it to stay steady. If it starts going below 50, and Trump really starts letting the prices collapse, that's going to be detrimental to the oil companies. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. But that would be nice if he floods the market and creates for the next year, let's say, because he's doing political calculus to go over and try to not get impeached and win the midterms. He's going to bring down credit card interest rates to 10% as well to do that. So he's trying to move the needle, I guess you can say. And right now, the things that he's doing are just so pro-America. I can't say anything against him. But yeah, I hope he. Oh great, my chart just vanished. I hope he keeps doing what he's doing. I like what I'm seeing. What can I say? I can't fault the guy when he's doing everything that is right. It's about damn time. So tired of politicians being pussies, and the Europeans are a friggin' joke. The reason the war in Ukraine is going on is because they're so busy in meetings. They don't want to give them any real weapons. Then again, the Europeans are peaceniks that don't understand the threats that are around them or how to handle them, which is kind of scary. I believe they're technologically and have a lot of similarities to the U.S. and their ability to fight, but I wouldn't want to depend on them. I don't think they have any real vinegar to get into the kind of battles that the U.S. is, and that we could take out just about anybody. And it's nice that we're using our military might to take out not only the communists but the drug traffickers. So I vote for. I'm 100% for this. I say I hope Trump has a third term if he keeps doing stuff like this. Oh, that's terrible. But anyway, so there you go. I will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week.